Alright, in this video I'm going to be doing a repair on this Karcher pressure washer. I've already done a cleaning on the on-off switch. However, at that time I couldn't find an on-off switch, and I did find this one on AliExpress. It seems okay. It seems like it is the proper switch, and the reason these burn out is because this has a dual function switch. It turns on and off with the switch in the front, and then it also turns on and off as the pressure increases or decreases within the pressure washer. So if you're using it, it's obviously on, and then when you stop using the pressure washer, let go of the handle, the pressure builds up inside the pressure washer unit, and it automatically turns the switch off so that the pump doesn't run. In my case, the pump always runs, and you're gonna need a T15 Torx bit. Big cat reveal here. Got a new family pet that doesn't want to attack the screwdrivers, and you're going to need a couple screwdrivers as well to get your whole Karcher apart. Now this switch is a common feature within the Karchers, but it does depend on your specific model, so you got to do a little bit of research on that. For this specific model, the wheels have to come off, and then there's just a bunch of Torx screws, and you're going to need a flathead, you're going to need a few other things. So just have an assortment of screwdrivers handy, and you're going to need to basically get right down to the pressure washer pump motor. And for this specific one, like I said, it's going to depend on which Karcher model you have. I think most of them use a switch configuration like the one that I'm repairing now, so it'll probably be fairly similar if you've got a different model as well. So you can see I've removed some of the hosing and stuff. I took all the plastic off camera because, like I said, it's really going to depend on your model. But within this white plastic thing is where this switch is located. So it attaches to the pump. There's a little pressure valve that can operate that switch by pressure, like I said, and then there's obviously the little turny handle up front that can allow you to turn it on and off yourself. So just look where the on-off switch is that you can use manually, and that's probably a good indication of where that switch is going to be. Like I said, it's going to depend on your Karcher model. So for me, I'm taking 4 of these bolts off. Basically, it sort of sandwiches down onto that white plastic thing where the switch is located. So I need to just take these 4 bolts off so I can get that white plastic piece off. So you can see there's a little mounting stud there. So like I said, I had to loosen those bolts to give myself a little bit of wiggle room to get that off. Otherwise, the bolts would have been able to stay. And that thing on top, that little circle thing, is where the pressure release valve is, as I understand things here. So a couple electrical connectors, and then in this case, there is a capacitor. Obviously, I'll just take that off so I don't get shocked, assuming it's holding a charge. And just for some advice here, be careful with the actual pump motor. If you do have to loosen some bolts and stuff, there might be oil inside. In this case, there is. So if I turned it over on its side, all the oil would dump out. So just be careful with that. And then this white plastic thing has a bunch of clamshell plastic type clips. You just got to pop them off. It is stiff. I don't really think these Karchers are supposed to come apart, except perhaps by a certified technician. But once you unclip everything, it does come apart fairly easy. But again, those clips can be stiff, and they also have a tendency to break if it's an old model like this one. My kid got this off Facebook Marketplace for 50 bucks, and it's been nothing but problems, although it has given me free content to make YouTube videos out of. So I guess that is a benefit of this $50 pressure washer. Anyway, that white top comes off just like that, and then you can see where the switch is, and then you can see the dual activation. So there's that gray piece on it, and then like I said, you could turn the little black handle to turn it on and off. And then there's also the little pressure switch there where my left thumb is that operates the on-off function. Now the reason these switches fail, at least in my opinion, is that they're on and off so many times when the pressure washer's in operation that it just burns them out, or they get damaged sort of mechanically, or in this case, I think it actually just got burnt out. I do rip it apart off camera, and it does look like it's just burnt out inside. I do have another video where I just used some spray cleaner, and it did the trick. However, like I said, I found the actual switch on AliExpress, so we're going to do it up here. And that's pretty much everything that you need to do to get down to this switch. And it is problematic to pull out just because the wires are stiff. It's not actually difficult to remove, but the wires are somewhat stiff. Now there's 4 connectors on these things, or at least on the one for this particular pressure washer, and I'm going to remove each wire one at a time and then reinstall it onto the new switch one at a time. So there's the new switch. The color looks a little different, but everything else looks identical. Like I said, it did come from AliExpress. There is concern sometimes that they don't always sell the best products, but this one seems okay. It seems okay so far. And so I've taken off the white wire off the old switch, put it on the new switch. Like I said, you could probably do all 4, just rip all of them off and then install them, but I figured it'd be easier and I wouldn't forget anything while I'm filming it and stuff like that. Take the gray wire off, install the gray wire, and then I'll take off the final wire off the old switch and install it into the new switch. And that's it. So now pushing the whole switch back in, like I said, those wires are pretty stiff, so you do need to use a little bit of force. You might have to move the wires around a little bit, that sort of thing, just to make sure that they're in the right spot. And then because it's a bit of a spring-loaded, pressure-activated thing, spring needs to get put back in place, and then the little gray dual action lever thing here needs to get put back in place, and it does have those 2 little clips on the side that it needs to clip into the body of this white housing. And that's obviously what it pivots on when it's turning on and off. And you do need to ensure that the switch is fully seated, just so that the cutouts in the body there line up. And you can see it's working just like that, and that's how the whole system operates. Now I just need to put the manual on-off handle back in. It really only goes in and functions one way, and initially I put it in the wrong way, so I'll just turn it around here and make sure it's seated, and there you go. That's how the on-off switch activates it from the front of the unit, and that's it. So now I'll put everything back together. This is obviously the top of the clamshell, clips back on. Just make sure that you don't pinch any of the wires, obviously. And then the capacitor has that rubber grommet so that it doesn't get moisture inside of it. I'll make sure that that's in as well and installed properly. And really just got to put that white body back into the pressure washer. So there is some electrical connectors at the bottom, and those need to all line up. And then there's a black rubber grommet that also needs to be seated as well. And with the bottom parts of the pressure washer motor loosened up, it just sort of slots in there. And now I can put the bolts back into the pressure washer and tighten everything down. And there's these springs inside the pressure washer motor that kind of tilted at an angle. So I took the car tire approach to doing this and just tightened one bolt a little bit at a time, and then sort of went crisscross around the pump motor, tightening bolts just a little bit at a time. So I didn't tighten one corner all the way down and have the other corner completely loosened off, because obviously there's a gasket in there. So I didn't want to pinch it some weird way while I'm putting this on. So like I said, just start tightening them down, and I believe that that is a 6mm Allen key or hex wrench to get those down. Now, the problem with wearing shorts when you're doing these videos, it often looks like you're completely naked. That is not the case in this video. I promise you I am wearing shorts, and obviously, like always, I am offering free foot content, so hit that like and subscribe, because I am giving this away for free. Now, there's rubber bushings on each side, and then there's like little plastic things that hold everything together. So again, it really depends on which Karcher model you got. This one, it is a pain to put this all back in. This is quite honestly the hardest part of the whole process, is getting these rubber grommets back in, all the plastic bits in the styrofoam, because it's just, I don't know, it's just very difficult for whatever reason. And then obviously I'm wearing shorts, and those boots are called Neos, by the way. Pretty good over boots. You can wear running shoes in them. So I'll put a link in the description. If you don't have Neos, you should get some Neos. But here it is working. Obviously, squeeze the trigger. It's gonna spray. Let go of the trigger, and then it'll stop. And then obviously I'll squeeze it and let go of it a few times here. It does have low pressure, but it could be because I'm using it in the winter and there's probably ice in the hose and stuff. So I'll deal with the pressure issue later. I'm just happy that the switch from AliExpress is fully functional and has no issues. Anyway, I've definitively solved the on-off switch issue with this Karcher. Now I just need to wait for summer to start using this thing and actually getting it fully functional and have the pressure up. Thanks for checking out my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.